All right, so we apologize for some technical difficulties with our audio system. Here we are set up in the stand, so not always the most conducive to quality audio, but we're getting all of the kinks worked out here at Coronado. Second quarter upon us here. 12 minutes up on the clock. It's 14-0 Coronado in possession of the football. Second and goal, rather. And on the snap, it's going to be a keeper by Hoover. Hip-hop his way up across the 8 down to the 7-yard line. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. And that'll set up a second and goal from the 9-yard line here. Or rather, third and goal from the 7-yard here for Hoover. In the shotgun comes Hoover. 3 wide receivers. This time it's a handoff in the RPO. Shedding his tackle, and getting out across the 5 to the 4 was Zane Delcor. So under 11 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but it seems like everything is back on track in the way that we want it for you to be able to get quality broadcasts. On the snap, it's a handoff. Delcor is in. On 4th and goal from the 3, Zane Delcor punches it in, his first touchdown of the evening. Jaden Farrer has a rushing touchdown as well. And John Cook has a receiving touchdown. It's 20-0. Or Coronado leads Hoover here in the early part of the second quarter. The RPO has been really tough for Hoover to defend. They've been trying to stay with the decision-making of Hoover, the quarterback, but he's done a good job recognizing the positioning by the linebackers and finding either an open receiver, keeping it himself, or trusting one of his running backs. And there's a flag thrown as they're waving off the extra point. And I'm wondering if they're going to call roughing the kicker or a holding. Special teams penalties are always a toss-up on what the call could be unless you're really physically in the scrum. So much is going on. And now we're waiting an explanation from the man in the white hat. 10:31 to go here, second quarter, 20-0, awaiting the extra try. So I've decided that a quarter and a minute and 30 seconds in that the Coronado PA guy and I would be very good friends with his sense of humor. Time is going to be called this is literally, if you're going to stop play, the one time where you should just let them play is for the extra point. Because it's almost like the most remedial. I'm in agreement. We got some we got some sensible fans in the stands here at Coronado. Because at the end of the day, you're on the board. The cheerleaders showing off their stuffs here on the near side. I guess this gives us an opportunity to pay some bills. Want to thank Mission Fed Credit Union, a proud partner to the CIF San Diego section and San Diego's largest member-owned non-for-profit financial institution. So they took off the flag. They said no. After wasting everybody's time, the PAT is good anyway. So 21-0. Islanders lead here. 10:31 to go in the second quarter. 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown for the Islanders offense. 3 interceptions on the Hoover side, but also an interception by their defense. They've been doing a pretty good job sticking with the receivers for Coronado, which is why it's been a run-heavy offense for the Islanders. On the other side for Hoover, they've had trouble getting any sort of traction because Urias, their quarterback, has had no time in the pocket. Coach Hines' defense and the Islanders have been blitzing almost every snap for the Cardinal offense, and that offensive line has had their evening full so far. Coots ready to kick this one away. Kenny Spence, Lucas Butler, juniors and seniors in their own right, back at the 5-yard line. This kick is about into the wind. There's a crosswind, so it shouldn't affect it too much. We'll see how Coots manages. Hand is up. Strides are forward. Boot is through. It's up the middle and then taken on the right side. Fumbled by Lucas Butler. He dives on it, and he's able to save what could have been a disastrous play. Ball was down shy of the 25-yard line. We'll call it the 24. He really just fumbled it forward to himself, so as heart-wrenching as that could be, he ended up getting an extra 6 yards out of it. Not trying to rationalize what should be just a return, but 21-0 score, 10:24 to go here, second quarter. The Islanders in their all-black, 3 numbers and letters on the front and back. White tops, red bottoms for the Hoover Cardinals. Red helmets as well. Red numbers and letters on the front and back. Red pants.
Johnson split out right. Urias at quarterback.
Urias ready to go. Shotgun formation. Perfect land to his right. Ball on the right hash mark. 1st and 10 from the 24. 3 wide receivers. And an extra blocker. Defense shows blitz. Urias hands it off. And Land keeps those feet moving. Got about 2 yards into the scrum. 2nd and 8, we'll call it, for the Hoover offense. The last winning season for Hoover was back in 2014. They went 10-3, 4-0 in the City League. Their big wins, they beat Sarah 50-0 that season. They had one of the more fun games in San Diego section history when they played Morris. They won 14-7 in quadruple. You heard that right, quadruple overtime. 14-7 in 4 overtimes. And they beat Lincoln 13-10 that year. They did lose to Christian in the Division III San Diego section championship to Christian. Haven't won a game in 900 days, rather. Looking to change that here. Urias on a vertical. It's left short, and it almost intercepted. Bouncing off the fingertips there on the far side. Incomplete. 3rd and 8 from the 26, back in their own territory for the Hoover offense. And you could hear Coach Hines' booming voice elevate over the field. Of course, Coach Hines, one of the more influential coaches, not only in the San Diego area, but really one of the more influential high school football coaches in the nation. Long-time career out in Bedford, New Hampshire. Took over this program back in 2017. 27 wins, 21 losses coming into tonight. His defense ready to clamp down once again, up 21-0. 3rd and 8. Urias takes the snap. 4-receiver set. Throw up the middle. This one's intercepted by Coots. And he turns on the Jets and takes it all the way to the house. It's a pick 6. A 26-yard pick 6.
Who else but Donnie Coots?
For the man who does it all, Donnie Kuntz. He has PATs. He has
3 extra points and
tackles. And he has a pick 6 to his evening. Donnie Kuntz playing utility here for the Islanders, up 27-0, 9:17 to go here in the second quarter, pending the extra point. And now Kuntz, nice throw from the near side. They needed a ball, and I don't know, that was 40 yards downfield, perfectly to the man in white. I mean, when your quarterback coach can throw a ball like that, you know you have a great quarterback coach. Kuntz ready to go. Put the exclamation point on his return here. And the kick is blocked by Hoover. No return in high school, so 27-0 the score remains. 9:17 to go here in the second quarter. And we thank East Bay. East Bay is the official athletic retail partner of the CIF and home to all your game day needs with a wide selection of high-performance athletic apparel and shoes. East Bay will make sure you're ready to dominate the day. Head to eastbay.com today to find your fit. Sun fully set here over the coast. The ocean less than a mile to our west. The coastal fog becoming a factor here at Hoover. Or rather, at Coronado, facing Hoover. And the lights above, the floodlights fully illuminating the field here. So we are under darkness. And Coots ready to kick this one away. Kenny Spence, Lucas Butler back to receive. Last time Lucas Butler returned, he fumbled it. Was able to get it about 6 paces ahead to save a turnover, but 3 plays later, a pick six happened anyways. Coots hand up, takes a breath. 3-step stride and kicks this one away. Out near the 10, taken by Kenny Spence. On the sideline to the 30 is where he's taken down, and then a flag on the tackle was Jaden Farrer.
Penalty on the play, Stephen Davis with the stop.
Flag came in on the near sideline after the play, and the officials now discussing what the potential call could be. 27-0, 9:11 to go here, second quarter. Remember, 35-0. If you're up by 35 in high school football, the fourth quarter is a running clock. Only stoppage will be for injuries and for timeouts. Saw a version of that a week ago at San Marcos against Carlsbad. So the flag, I believe, it's still on the field, but the teams are getting set. And it goes against Hoover's offense. An illegal block in the back will put the spot of this ball way far back. It's out of the 30, and it's a spot foul. It's 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So the ball is going to be back all the way at the 15-yard line. It's a 15-yard difference between the penalty and the non-penalty call. So 1st and 15, deep in their own territory. Orius back out there, 3 wide receivers set. He's thrown 3 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. The other 2 have led to touchdowns here in the first half. And now a whistle's blown once again. With all the whistles here in the first half, they're going to have to get the trainers out to the stands to start stretching the fans. Those legs are going to start cramping up as the evening turns cold. Out of the shotgun, Orius ready. Defense shows blitz. Take the snap. Hands it off to Land. No, he keeps it. It's a fumble and a return into the end zone for Coronado. 15-yard fumble 6. And it was Hudson Bartell, the junior outside linebacker, on the return and the touchdown as he flexes his muscles, running back to the sideline.
Hudson Bartelli. Bartell.
It's Bartell!
Just for the record, on the PA they said Bartelli. I said Bartell on the broadcast. I have the roster. I just need to appease the fans here. 9:04 is where the clock stops. 33-0 pending the extra point here for Coots. Herber the holder. Snap, hold is down, kick is up and through. 34-0. Hoover trails here with 9:04 to go in the first quarter.
Islanders 34.
We want to thank the Kokolski brothers. Get your official CIF San Diego section championship gear from the Kokolski brothers at all of this year's championship events. Shirts, sweatshirts, and sweats, and much more are available. Also want to thank Adventist Health. Adventist Health congratulates all CIF student athletes, their schools, and supporting communities for their achievements. Your strength inspires us to do more than practice medicine. You inspire us to transform lives. Adventist Health, official healthcare partner of the CIF. Together, inspired. And of course, during a trying year like no other, we definitely thank all of the healthcare workers at the front lines, keeping us safe and making sure we can have some semblance of normalcy, such as high school sports being back. What a incredible year these kids had to undergo to get to this point, but here we are. Week 3 for some of these programs, week 4 upon us. Coots ready to kick this one away. 34-0 Islanders lead. And back to take it near the 20 is Kenny Spence. Now he cuts towards the middle of the field, bounces off, has some space across the 45, to the 50, to the 45 in opponent territories where he's pushed out. And that was a very big return here for Kenny Spence. We'll see if the offense under Urias can make a difference. 4 interceptions and a fumble now for the quarterback, Alberto Urias, for Hoover. Back-to-back possessions have resulted in defensive touchdowns, a pick 6 and a return to the end zone. A 40-plus yard return right there, though, puts them into opponent territory. Official spot is the 37, excuse me.
Ball on the Cardinal 37-yard line.
First and 10.
First and 10.
For the Cardinal on the Islander 37-yard line. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers, an extra blocker. Perfect land to the left of Urias. Ball in the right hash. Defense shows blitz. Hands off. And the defense once again stuffs land for a loss on the play. It'll be a loss of 3. Tally 2nd and 13 now. And folks, I know this is a radio broadcast, but if you were able to see it, you would see the linebackers here for Coronado up on the line. They're timing the snap of these perfectly. Every single possession, every single snap, they are up on the line. As soon as that ball is hiked, they are out across the line of scrimmage into the backfield. It is really hard for the front line for the Cardinals to pick them up right now. Under 8:20 to play here, second quarter, 34-0. Islanders lead, 2nd and 13 for the Cardinal offense. Hoover looking to get some points up. It's a handoff to Land out of the shotgun. Bounces off one tackler before he fights forward for an extra yard. Got one back after all of that, and that's why running out of the shotgun can be a little bit difficult when you're well behind your original line of scrimmage. Line to gain is out across the 26. That'll set up 3rd and 12.
3rd and 12.
For Hoover here. And Hoover in no rush, trying to just get into their sets, build some continuity. They take on Mission Bay next week, a team who's very big up front. So they would need all the reps they can get as they get ready for that bout back at home. Urias, and flags fly, play is stopped.
Offsides.
And it's offsides on Coronado. So from 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 7 now. A little bit more manageable for the Cardinals offense here. Trailing 34-0, 7:15 and counting. Ball in the middle of the field. In Islander territory.
3rd and 7.
And the Cardinals, excuse me. Looking to pick up yards with progress. It doesn't have to be in big bunches, just going through your progressions and making sure that the play that you intend to make is made. Extra blocker out there, 3 wide receivers, shotgun formation. Urias to his left is perfect to Land. The snap, high snap, the screen pass to the far side, caught by Butler, out across the 35, but he stutter steps backwards and loses a yard on the play. So from 3rd and 7 to 4th and 8 after the completed pass. And we'll see here what Hoover elects to do. We have not seen either team punt today because all 5 of Hoover's offensive sets have led to turnovers so far. 4 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, and a fumble to this point. The question here, though, was there a flag on the play? I believe there was, because they're moving the ball up to the 31-yard line. There was a flag on the play. goes against the Islanders. Offsides once again.
Penalty was on the Islanders.
So
It's now
3rd and
4 yards to go.
4 is where the new spot is. 3rd and 4, 6:31 and counting here. Second quarter, 34-0 Islanders lead.
Ball rests on the 31-yard line of the Islanders.
Hoover still in good field position here. 3rd and 4. Expect a handoff out of the shotgun. Defense, everybody up on the line. It's a screen pass. Fumbled by Butler. Was it ahead of the line of scrimmage? That's the question. If it was ahead of the line of scrimmage, it's an incomplete pass. If it's in the backfield, it's a fumble. And that's the question. The Islanders came up with it on the bobble by Butler. It looked, and that's the discussion here, and this is where this is the line judge's job, is to understand where the line of scrimmage is and to anticipate whether or not, in a situation like this, that was a forward pass or not. Now, in my perspective, it looked like it was right on the line of scrimmage, so it could go either way. I know it doesn't help you very much, but it looks like the offense for the Islanders will trot out there. They're convinced that this is a fumble recovered by the Coronado defense, and Hoover looks like they have their defense towing the sideline as well. Clock stops at 6:03, 34-0 the score here in the second quarter.
Okay, it looks like that play was deemed a lateral, of which the Islanders, recovered. It's now the Islander ball at their own 41-yard line.
So you heard Mark, our friend up at PA, announce the stipulations here. So once again, a lateral pass turns into a fumble. 6 possessions offensively for Hoover, 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles here. Clock stops at 6:03, 34-0 Islanders football in possession. They do have 1 non-touchdown on offense. That was an interception back in the first quarter. And we'll see here how they try to manage this field. 1st and 10 from the 41. And Hines trying to get the guys up at the scoreboard to put up the correct number. As we await for play to resume on the field, the head judge is discussing the call made on the field, which was a fumble recovery with head coach Gray of Hoover. Conversation still being had. I don't think Coach Gray is very happy with the call. Of course, Coach Gray, 38-20 record over 5 years at Kearney. In 2018, though, prior to taking over for this program, he went 11-2. They lost in the Division IV championship. So out of the timeout, Herbert takes the snap, runs right, finds a receiver, but it's short and incomplete about 5 yards down the field. And we'll do it again, this time at 2nd and 10. Ball back on the Islanders' 41-yard line. 5:55 to go here in the first half. Shotgun formation. Extra blockers up front. Herbert, 3-step drop. Looks up the middle, has a receiver, but it's well overthrown, out of reach. Joseph Taylor Pate, the intended target, the 6'1 senior. But that was about 5 or 6 yards out of his reach. So 3rd and 10 from the 41 in Islander territory. 34-0 the score. 5:50 to play here. Second quarter. And a timeout taken by the Islanders. We're going to step aside for a break. We'll be back in 45 seconds. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section football game of the day, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 34-0 Islanders lead. Back for more of the second quarter in just a moment. Back here at Niedermeyer Field on the campus of Coronado High School. Not Corona Del Mar. We're not in Corona, California. We're in Coronado, I promise you, folks. I haven't been misleading you this entire time. Out of the timeout, Hoover takes a snap out of the shotgun, looks to his left, hit as he throws. It bounces incomplete in front of Zane Delcor. And from 3rd and 10 to 4th and 10. Now, everybody is wondering why it's not a fumble. That's because the quarterback was behind the running back. And when the quarterback is behind the running back, the line of scrimmage is where the quarterback is, which means that it's an incomplete pass. So 4th and 10 here. We'll see if Coronado decides to punt it. Good 3-and-out forced by Hoover. Well, we'll see if it's an out, but right now, looks like the offense remains intact at 4th and 10. 34-0 the score, 5:45 to play here in the second quarter. And no, we will see a punt. Hoover, the quarterback, also acts as the punter for this team. Couple of blockers up front. And the first punt of the day is away out near the 30. Herbert gets a foot under it, drops in opposing territory at the 30, takes a friendly bounce out across the 25, and a little extra dribble to the 12. A very nice punt. Over 60 yards, 65 yards there for Herbert. And he pins Hoover back deep into their own territory. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line as the Hoover offense jogs back out to play some football. Good defensive stop for the Cardinals, and we'll see if they can capitalize here. Plenty of time left. Still 2.5 quarters to go. Hines barking orders from the sideline. And Urias hops back out there in the shotgun, offset with an extra blocker up front. 3 wide receivers, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, ball on the left hash mark. Has perfect land to his right. The snap and a keeper by Urias finds a hole, but he gets drilled by a pair of black jerseys after a gain of 1 on the play. Sets up 2nd and 9 now.
Gain of 1.
Want to remind you that we'll be off tomorrow for the San Diego section stream, but I will be at La Jolla Country Day for their basketball game against Foothills Christian. You're welcome to tune in on YouTube Live for that. We'll be back next week for a full slate of games of the week. We'll have softball. We will have football, maybe some basketball thrown in there as well. Make sure to stay tuned to social media for the broadcasting schedule. All right, ready to go out of the huddle. 2nd and 9. Left hash mark, back at the 13-yard line for Hoover. Line collapses as Urias looks for some space, and he twirls and is spun down after a gain of 2 on the play. He was actually hit in the backfield, but he propelled himself forward, and that forward momentum gave him 2 extra yards. So instead of a loss, it's a gain. It's 3rd and 7 now. Ball should be at the 15-yard line for Hoover High School. How did we make it a year without this environment, folks? That's what I want to know. The fans in the stands, just protruding electricity out of the snap. Ball thrown downfield, and it's incomplete. About 4 yards ahead of Lucas Butler on the left hash.
Pass incomplete, but there's a flag on the play.
A flag on the play, though. And we'll check that on the sideline. 3:58 is where the clock stops. 3rd and 7 was the down and spot. 34-0 is the score. Coronado up over Hoover. And here's the call. Defensive pass interference. In high school football, they don't really think about if the catch is passable or catchable or not, because they just saw a hold on the receiver. So that's going to be a 1st and 10, 15-yard penalty from the spot. So that moves the ball all the way up to the 31-yard line.
Pushing, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, perfect land to his left, ball in the middle of the field. It's a handoff from Urias on the snap. Land bounces right, now left, turns the corner. And he's met by a trio of Black Islander jerseys. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Clock continuing to wind now at 3:45 and counting here. First half.
2nd and 9 for the Cardinal at the 32-yard line.
And the Cardinals looking to continue this momentum. All 6 of their possessions have led into turnovers, 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles. An interception and a fumble were returned back for touchdowns by the Islander defense. 3:15 to go here, second quarter, 34-0 the score on the snap. It's a wide receiver screen pass to Kenny Spence. He shakes off the initial tackler, but a slew of them come after, and there's no gain on the play. But what an offensive play. He shook off Zane Delcor, and then Eastlick came in for the tackle. Eastlick had a monstrous sack back in that first quarter. Under 2:50 to go here. Second quarter, clock's continuing to roll. And Hoover looking to continue to move this football, though. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the offense.
3rd and 10.
Fans here have been very active. Far sideline, Hoover has a handful of fans in their stands as well. Everybody doing a good job abiding by the social distance guidelines put into place here by San Diego County. All right, ready to go. Not ready to go. We got whistles as everybody lines up and a timeout taken by Hoover. 2:19 to go here in the second quarter, 34-0. Hoover trails Coronado. We'll step aside for a break. The finale of the second quarter when we come back. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section football game of the day, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Back here at Coronado, out of the timeout, 2:19 to play, 34-0. Islanders up over the Hoover Cardinals late into the second quarter. And in possession of the basketball, in possession of the football, on the right hash mark, back in their own territory at the 31. Go the Hoover Cardinals. It's 3rd and 10. Only 3 first downs in this game have been picked up organically. They've had a handful of flags drawn by the defense for Coronado. But an opportunity to work here with a 2-minute, 19-second clock. Urias in the shotgun, has 3 wide receivers. Right hash, looks left on the snap. High throw, incomplete. He was looking up the middle for Kenny Spence on the wide receiver slant. But Sean Kelly in coverage, able to bat it down. And that's 4th and 10 now. Hoover looks like their special teams unit will come out to punt this one away.
A nice play that time by Aiden O'Neill, breaking it up, turning it to a 4th down now. Islanders waiting for the punt.
Isaac Rios back to punt here for Hoover. A pair of returners getting set for the Islanders. It's Jaden Ferrer on the left side. High snap. Punt is very short. A little bit of backspin. Takes it up. Drops at the 50. Dribble to the 40. And downed by Hoover across to the 37-yard line. 24 yards on the punt, 2:06 to go here, second quarter, 34-0.
42-yard punt.
Cardinals trail back on defense, and the Islander offense taking the field once again on a Friday night in spring. How about that? I'm outside calling football in a short sleeve shirt. That hasn't happened since, I don't know, August, September of 2019. Very grateful to be out here on the island tonight. 1st and 10, back in their own territory for Coronado on the 36. 2:06 to play here, second quarter, up by 34, and the offense taking their time. And after both teams got set, one of the officials is gathering the Hoover defense to discuss something with them. The chain gang hasn't moved, by the way, the people who moved the chain since the punt. It still shows 4th and 10 on the far sideline. And a face mask is called on Hoover. So a face mask is called on the Hoover special teams unit on the return for Coronado, and so that'll be a spot foul 15 yards from the spot. Ball goes all the way up to the 49-yard line in opponent territory with 2:06 to play here in the second quarter.
Personal foul penalty against the Cardinals.
Last year, Coronado had a 1,000-yard rusher in Devin Schulte, had 1,003 yards on 91.2 yards per game and 15 touchdowns to lead the team. This year running more of an RPO. Hoover out of the timeout, takes a snap, finds a wide receiver on the near side for a screen. It's complete to Griffin Rosenblum, and Rosenblum tiptoes the sideline before he's finally pushed out across the 25 down at the 23. A 26-yard wide receiver reception for Rosenblum, the first of his evening. And with under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter, Coronado's driving once again. And remember, they get the ball back to begin the second half. Herbert Hudson in the shotgun for 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back to his right. It's a pitch up the middle to Joseph Taylor-Pate, who's on the move for the jet sweep. Taylor-Pate stutter step, jukes a defender out across the 20. Near the far sideline, he's finally taken down at the 19, maybe the 18-yard line. Give him a 5-yard gain on the jet sweep. And good blocking up front to open up some space to give Taylor-Pate an opportunity to move the ball forward. And that should set up 2nd and 5 here from the 19. It does. So a 5-yard jet sweep for Taylor-Pate with 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. 34-0 the score. And Herbert, 4 wide receivers set, split equally to both sides, ball in the right hash. In the red zone at the 19-yard line, 2nd and 5 rather. Snap. Herbert looking left, runs left, has the receivers, he throws left, and it's caught out across the 10 and taken down at the 8-yard line is Griffin Rosenblum. Back-to-back catches for Rosenblum, sets up his team in 1st and goal scenario.
Hey, there's Griffin Rosenblum again, folks.
13-yard reception for Rosenblum on the left hash. And as the clock continuing to wind now at 35 seconds and counting, the offense at 1st and goal from the 6 has an opportunity to punch it in. The snap, it's a handoff to Ferrer. Tries to throw a couple of defenders off him. He can, and he's tackled for a loss of 3 on the play. Timeout to stop the clock here by the Coronado offense. 24.4 seconds to go. 34-0 out of the timeout. It'll set up a 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line after the 4-yard stuff. That was the best defensive set we've seen from the front 7 here for Hoover tonight. Ferrer thought he had some space, tried to throw a couple of guys off of him. And that timeout is good. It gives his team an opportunity to reset, stops the clock. Up 34-0. Islanders get the football back. You set yourself up with some momentum going into the half. After the quick timeout, Coach Hines is done chatting with his squad. And they get set at 2nd and goal from the 10. 24 seconds to go.
24 seconds left to go in the half. 2nd and goal, Islanders.
Ball in the left hash. 4 wide receivers stacked even on both sides of the quarterback, Herbert. To his right is a running back. This time it's a snap, a handoff. Running left with it is Ferrer. Into the scrum he goes, gets a couple of yards, taken down at the 6-yard line. A 4-yard run back to the original line of scrimmage. And another timeout taken by Coach Hines with 15 seconds to go here in the half. It'll set up a 3rd and goal from the 6. Hoover not even going to the sideline for this timeout. There they go, jogging out there to discuss the defensive set. This is a big goal line stand for the defense, doing everything they can to stuff the Islander offense here as the half trickles down. 15.8 to go, 34-0 to score. 6 turnovers, 4 interceptions, and 2 fumbles for the Hoover offense. 1 punt in all 7 of their trips. The Islanders have scored in all but 1 of their offensive sets. Hoover has an interception on their defense as well. Out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd and goal from, I guess they're saying the 7 now. Offense back out there. Ball on the left hash. 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a running back. Farrer to the right of Hoover. 2 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right. On the snap. Play action. Toss up the middle. It's intercepted by Kenny Spence and Hoover's offense. He runs it all the way back to the 10, and Spence was ready. He was spying the middle. He knew that it was going to be a pass to Aiden O'Neal on the slant. Got into the passing lanes, caught the interception, his 2nd of the evening. And that is a defensive stop and a big one for the Hoover defense. Clock stops with 8 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter. 34-0 Cardinal football. And Hoover does get the football back to begin the 2nd half. Ooh, perceptively. If I'm a coach, I'm going for the onside kick. Down 34, maybe, who knows what the score is with 8 seconds left. Anything can happen, but I'm feeling aggressive tonight. Hoover's offense back on the field. Urias, 3 wide receivers and a running back. In the shotgun, defense shows blitz, takes the snap, it's a jet sweep. From left to right goes Davis, and he's tackled for a loss on the play of 5. And that will be the final play of the first half. At half, it's 34-0. Hoover trails Coronado. We're going to step aside for an 8-minute break. We'll be back for the 2nd half of action. Touchdowns by Farrer, John Cook, and Zane Delcourt for the Coronado offense. They've had 2 defensive touchdowns as well. We're going to step aside for a halftime break. Back in 8 minutes for more. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego Section Football Game of the Day, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. The halftime break is about over, and we are about to get back to football. Welcome back, everybody, to Coronado High School, out on the beautiful island on a Friday night. Jonathan Rifkin, delighted to be with you for the call. Coronado up over the Hoover Cardinals, 34-0, after an onslaught of offense, but 2 defensive touchdowns as well, a fumble 6 and a pick 6 in back-to-back possessions. Gives Coronado the large lead. Now remember, in high school football, going into the fourth quarter, if there's a lead of 35 or more, there's a running clock. Only stoppage for timeouts for injuries. But we're still a quarter away, and Hoover, who knows what'll happen. We'll see if perhaps they can, give their quarterback a little bit more time in the pocket to work with. But the front 7 for Coronado has been hungry. They've been blitzing almost every play, finding themselves in the backfield, and more often than not, Urias has found himself onto the ground. Ready to go, though, here for the second half. Islanders back to receive. Offensive touchdowns. Jaden Furr has a rushing touchdown. So does Zane Delcourt. John Cook has the opening touchdown of the game, a reception. Hudson Herber has a passing touchdown to his evening. 12 minutes on the clock here, third quarter. Hoover about to kick it off here to Coronado. The kicker is Isaac Rios. Jaden Farrer and John Cook back to return here. And Rios having some trouble keeping the ball in place at the 40, so we might get a holder here on the kick. Rios still fiddling with the ball holder. And there we go. Rios gets it, loosens up, takes a couple of steps, and we're ready to go.
Let's everybody get up for the kickoff.
Kickoff up the middle, taken short at the 30 on the near side to the 40 now, and down at the 48-yard line for a return of 18 yards. It was one of the forward men on the return here for Coronado, Stephen Davis, 5'9" sophomore, playing defensive back and outside linebacker. Defensive specialist here for the Islanders on the return. 7 seconds off the clock here in this third quarter. 34-0 Islanders lead. Back on offense, ball on the left hash mark. Team going from right to left on the old school radio dial, if you're so inclined. Into the shotgun goes Hudson Herber. He has 3 wide receivers and a tight end. 3 of his wide receivers all the way to his right. Running back to his right as well. Takes the snap, hands it off. On the move goes Furr. And able to center step his way across the 45 into opponent territory down at the 42. Give him a gain of 12 on the play. And that was actually Zane Delcourt, on the play. So a 1st and 10 here in opponent territory now at the 42 for the Islander offense. Evening begins to cool down as the coastal fog takes its grasp here on the island. Out across the bay, you can see downtown illuminating the night sky. 3 wide receivers. On the move is 1 out of the shotgun. It's going to be a keeper here for Herber. Running right, breaks a double team and slips down out across the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3 on the keeper. And this RPO has been fascinating for the Islander offense because Herbert can very easily move with it, but you see a handful of rotating running backs up next to him. He decides not to hand it off, but he can if he wants to. And he's only a freshman. Hudson Herbert at 6 foot. Really looking like a seasoned quarterback out there. Going to be fun to see how his progressions take hold over the course of the next 3 years of his football career. Under center. The low snap, hands it off, and out across the 35 is where this one will be stopped. On the carry was Zane Delcourt once again. Delcourt splitting carries with Jaden Farrer here tonight. And the Hoover front 7 with a big stop, setting up 3rd and 3 from the 45.
Looked like Leonardo Rivera and the rest of his team stopping the Islanders. Third down, 3 yards to go.
10 minutes to go here, third quarter, second half. 2 minutes in to the quarter. Out of the shotgun, Herbert's a high snap. Has to get under it. He slides out across the 50. He'll be tapped down. And that's a big stop for the Hoover defense. For all intents and purposes, they have back-to-back defensive stops. They force an interception on a second and goal or a third and goal opportunity back at the end of the second quarter. And here to open up the third quarter, they get a stop as well. It's fourth and very long. Ball back across the 50 to the 49. The line to gain is the 32 in Hoover territory. And we'll see. Well, it looks like the offense is out there, and they're going to go for it. Herbert in the single back. It's a toss to the left. Here goes Jaden Furr out across the 55, gets a block, splits a double team across the 45, and he's taken down, or to the 35, taken down at the 33-yard line on the run. He's a yard short of the first down mark. It was fourth and incredibly long, and he's a yard short on the carry. That should be a Hoover stop and a turnover on downs for the Islander offense. And indeed, it is. The Hoover front line will jog on out there. The players who play offense as well as defense, the two-way players, staying out there as well. With 9:08 to go here in the third quarter, 34-0, the score remains. Two stops defensively for Hoover against the Islanders on their last two possessions, give their offense back the football here, and we'll see if this offense has a little bit more momentum here to allow Alberto Urias, the junior quarterback for Hoover, some space to complete a few passes. He has 4 interceptions and a fumble to his day so far. 4 wide receivers split out on both sides of Urias. Ball on the right hash mark. Perfect to land. The running back to his left. It's a toss to land. To the left, breaks a tackle out across the 30, runs into the scrum, and taken down shy of the 35 to the 34-yard line, only a gain of 1 on the play. When you run out of the shotgun, you have to make up 3 yards of ground and before you even get back to the line of scrimmage. So I'm curious why they're running it out of the shotgun when it's been really tough for this Hoover offensive line to hold the front 7 for the Islanders. You better off running out of the single back formation because at least you can make up the yards lost and get back to the line of scrimmage. Here only a yard after what felt like a 5-yard run. Out of the shotgun, once again, 3 wide receivers this time. Extra blocker, perfect land to the right. 2nd and 9 for the offense. Snap, handoff. Urias gives it to Land, and Land is wrapped up. Back to the line of scrimmage, a loss of 1 on the run. 3rd and 9.
Coots on the tackle.
Coots on the tackle. The middle linebacker also kicking, has a pick 6 to his evening. Multifaceted skill player here for Coach Hines' squad. Clock continuing to tick now at 7:50 and counting here in the third quarter. Three spread out, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Ball in the middle of the hashes. Back in the Hoover, on the Hoover 33-yard line. Perfect land to the right of Urias. It's a snap. He fumbles it, looks upfield, has a receiver, but through the hands of his intended target, Jamel Johnson. The senior wide receiver got his first look of the evening, but it went right through his fingertips. That's up a 4th and 10 now for Hoover. And here comes the punting unit. Isaac Rios to punt this one away. Back to receive, Jaden Farrer, the senior running back. And to his left is Joseph Taylor Pate, the senior wide receiver. Back near the 40-yard line in their own territory. Rios lines up at the 20-yard line in his territory. Ball at the 33-yard line, rather, is where it'll be snapped. High snap. Rios gets it almost blocked, but he gets a wobbly one off at the 40. It takes a friendly Hoover roll, and it's tapped down at the 36-yard line. 32-yard punt for Rios. Sets up the Islanders on a 1st and 10 back in their own territory. and gives them an opportunity to try and score some more points with 7:21 to go here in the third quarter. 34-0 Islanders lead.
Islanders take over.
And both quarterbacks, both listed quarterbacks for Coronado are freshmen. Hudson Hoover, the other one being Graham Bauer. But I did see John Cook, the junior wide receiver, taking snaps in the pregame warm-up as well. So he's really their backup quarterback if they choose to take him out or something were to happen. They score again, I would expect the second team to start playing here for both teams. 7:21 is where the clock stopped. 1st and 10 from the 43, back in their own territory. Ball in the middle of the field. It'll be a shotgun formation for Hoover. Jaden Farrer to his right. 3 wide receivers. Actually, no, 2 wide receivers and a tight end. It leads me to believe it's a run. It is a run. Farrer. And actually, no, that's Zane Delcourt from right to left, bouncing off a few bodies and being taken down at the 47-yard line. And a Hoover player is down, but he gets up under his own power. Actually bounces up, and it looks like he's okay. Leonardo Rivera, the 5'11", 220-pound defensive lineman, just needed an extra second, but he quickly hops off to the field. They replace him, and we're ready to go. Clock stops at 7:09 to go. It was a short gain on the play. Sets up 2nd and 4 after the gain of 6 by Delcourt. Shotgun formation. Defense shows a 4-3 man-to-man defense with a cover 1. Spread right, which means shotgun formation. It's a handoff once again. There goes Delcourt, and he gets blown up, but not before getting the first down. He's taken down at the 45, and lowering the shoulder to deliver the boom was Deshaun Davis, the 6'4 sophomore, and we have a man down.
Everybody on a knee.
That was a big boy tackle, and boy, do we hope that he's okay. So play is stopped for the time being. Both teams taking a knee
Hey, let's go, Bartelli. Get up.
for the down player. So both teams now moving to their respective sidelines. And still no movement from the field. And finally, you hear the round of applause as Hudson Bartell, who does not move his left leg, being carried off the field here by his head coach and his athletic trainer. And boy, do we hope he's okay. That was a big hit that he took. Nonetheless, though, got the first down for his squad.
Way to go, Hud.
All right, so back to football. It's Bartell now, is on the trainer's table, and they're just looking at his ankle there. He looks like he's okay, though, so we'll keep you posted on his status. Nonetheless, Furr's now in the game. It's a snap and a handoff to him. 1st and 10 from the 45. He gets out across the 40 and taken down to the 37-yard line. Gain of 7 on the run for Jaden Farrer. He does have a rushing touchdown tonight as well. 6:25 to go and counting. Third quarter, 34-0. The Coronado Islanders lead here. So we hit the halfway mark of this quarter, I should say. Offense breaks the huddle. Out into the shotgun. 4 wide receivers spread out evenly to both sides of Hudson. To his left, a running back. This one's a handoff to Delcourt, running up the middle, bounces around to the right, and he's wrapped up and tackled for a loss of 1 on the play. Great defense by Jamel Johnson, the defensive end for Hoover. Sets up 3rd and 4 for the Islander offense here. And the Hoover defense is really clamped down. They give 34 points through the first quarter, and about 4 minutes since then, no points. Looking for their 3rd straight stop here 3rd and 4, 5:30 to play here, third quarter. Offense in a spread, ball in the middle of the field, shotgun formation, 4-receiver set. Defense showing a cover 1 blitz. Expect those linebackers in the backfield. Here it comes, the snap, a screen pass near side. Caught by Taylor Pate. Taylor Pate out across the 35, stutter steps a defender, and he stays on his feet to get to the 30. What a fight for Taylor Pate through a bunch of white jerseys. And he fought his way not only for the first down, but for some extra change as well. Give him a gain of about 7 on the play. 1st and 10 from the 30, courtesy of Taylor Pate and the wide receiver screen pass. And that's how you beat man. You just get the extra guy off the line to move out, screen the extra guy guarding the wide receiver, open some space, and that was well executed by the offense. Offset I formation, now 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. It's a handoff here to Farrer, and he cuts through the A gap to the right, taken down at the 20-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 22, so an 8-yard run for Farrer. Sets up 2nd and 2 here from the Cardinal 22 for the Islander offense. Eyeing that red zone once again. Up 34-0. Back into the offset I. Farrer to the right. In the backfield behind the quarterback, I believe is Aiden O'Neill. The snap, it's a handoff. No, it's a toss on the action. It's Elias Valdivia, the extra running back out there, and he loses a yard on the toss. Set up 3rd and 3 now from the 23. Deshaun Davis on the stop. Elias Valdivia, 6'1" sophomore, plays a hybrid of running back and wide receiver, a myriad of jobs here for the offense.
3rd and 4 now for the Islanders.
Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers and a tight end. It's a snap. Defense shows blitz. A handoff up the middle goes Farrer, trying to push the pile. Did he get enough? He does. He's taken down across the 20 to the 19. 5-yard run, 1st and 10 from the 19 for the Islanders, and we have a Cardinal down.
Injury on the field.
So another injured player on the field, this time for the defense. He's pretty far away, can't get a number on him, but once I do, I will report back. And that's what happens as you get late into these games. You have to be very careful. It gets cold. Players tend to cramp up a little bit as they make their moves, and if you get hit the wrong way, it can really hurt. Hopefully nothing too serious. It's good to see her on the near sideline. Hudson Bartell sitting up, watching his team play on. A little bit of ice on his left ankle, but certainly hope he's okay. As we see the Hoover player down out near the 16-yard line. Again, no official number yet on who that is. And as we wait, I guess we'll take a break. 3:35 to go here, third quarter, 34-0 Islanders in possession of the football, 1st and 10 from the 19. When we come back, you're listening to the CIF San Diego Prep Insider San Diego section football game of the day, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Back in a moment. And we're back. 3:35 to go. Third quarter, 34-0. Islanders in possession of the football. 1st and 10 from the 19. Herbert leads his offense back out there. They're in a stack. Everybody is converged in. Ball in the right hash. 2 wide receivers, a running back, extra blocker. Snap, handoff. And it's taken by Zane Delcor for a gain of only 1 on the play. Bounced off a couple of tacklers, but ultimately only got 1 on the play. Sets up 2nd and 9 here from the 18-yard line. Delcor back into the running back spot. Hoover under center. This time 3 wide receivers to the left. And we have another Hoover player down on the far side. Jamel Johnson tried running towards the sideline, immediately hit the deck out towards the 30. I certainly hope he's okay. Got back up, and now he's being helped off. So Rios will come into his place as a defensive end. 3 minutes to go here, third quarter, 34-0. And 2nd and 9 from the 18 for the Hudson and the Islander offense. He hands it off. Delcourt finds a space on the far side. Flag is thrown as he's across the 5, pushing the pile. And he is so close to that goal line. Probably to the 1 is where they'll call it. So a 17-yard run by Zane Delcourt. But a holding penalty against the Islanders, so this one's coming back. 3:43 to go is where the clock stops. That 18-yard run negated by a hold. It'll be a spot foul and 10 yards back, so we'll see where they spot it. Goes back to the 25. So the line of scrimmage is the 19. The line to gain is the 9, and the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 16 on the Hoover 25. On the snap, Herbert keeps it running left, being chased by a couple of Cardinal, turns the corner, has some space. Juke steps across the 10, and he's finally taken down just shy of that 9-yard line. The quarterback keeper, how about a couple of key blocks by his wide receiving core to open up the space to his left? And it'll set up a 3rd and 1 on the big run by Hudson Herbert, just a freshman, showing off the agility out of the pocket.
Just checking if you're paying attention.
Let's go, K-Dog!
It's actually 3rd down.
Herbert in the shotgun, has 3 wide receivers to his right, but a timeout is called by the officials.
Timeout on the field.
Do the officials get limited timeouts like the coaches do? Because sometimes it feels like they get as many as they want, but both teams only get 3. All right, so we're going to take a step aside as a player is down in the backfield, or in the secondary, rather, for Hoover. This is the 3rd Hoover player we've seen, and they're going to tend to him. We're going to take an injury timeout. 2:07 to play here, third quarter, 34-0. It'll be 3rd and 2 from the 11 when we return for the Islander offense. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego Section Football Game of the Day, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. So Deshaun Davis gets up under his own power. He's jogging off towards the sidelines. Prolific defender, great wide receiver, return man as well for the Hoover Cardinals. One of the icons of the skill position for this team. With 2:07 to go here in the third, it's 3rd and 2 from the 11 in Hoover territory for the Islander offense. And Herbert in the shotgun has 3 wide receivers to his right, and a neutral zone infraction by the defense is going to allow a 1st and goal here from the 6-yard line as they move the chains. Forced a defensive lineman, a Hoover defensive lineman, to jump. It was Richard Colito, 6'3" senior at 250 pounds. Infracted the neutral zone. 1st and goal rather from the 6-yard line. Another and goal trip for the offense. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers to the right and a tight end. It's a handoff, bustling into the end zone for a touchdown. Unscathed.
We're thinking that was Wade Tatum, folks.
Wade Tatum.
Or let's go back to
The
Tatum
five.
Wade.
The man with two first names, Tatum Wade or Wayne Tatum. Nonetheless, he scored a touchdown, and that's what you should care about.
She? All right.
Tatum Wade, the 5'9" junior running back. And it's a fake field goal opportunity, and Herbert gets drilled. And it goes incomplete. 40-0, 1:57 to go.
Here in the booth, Tatum Wade for the touchdown.
And the booth recognizing Tatum Wade once again.
And that was a 6-yard tough run.
Special teams unit ready to kick this one away. Hoover has Kenny Spence, Lucas Butler back to receive. 1:57 to go here, third quarter, 40-0. Hoover trails Coronado Islanders. Coots ready to kick this one away. Hands up, boot is through.
Coots kicking on.
Into the middle of the field. It's bumped. Both the receivers here on the return, Kenny Spence and Lucas Butler, ran into each other. On the hit, there's a fumble, but the sideline official says the ball was down and it's Hoover football.
We got that ball. Come on.
Fans asking for the replay. I'm the only one with that benefit here, but I can't change the call, so it is as it stands on the field. $1:49 to go here in the third, 40-0. Hoover's offense back out there. Unable to get any momentum in this one. Last week, or rather 2 weeks ago, they lost to Crawford 33-0. It's a young offense under a new head coach, still rebuilding, and what better way? There's no better way to get back on track than by trying. And you definitely have to tip Hoover, the cap off to Hoover. Every single season, they're back on this football field fighting. And for a journeyman such as myself, I really admire this program. A handoff to Perfect Land out of the shotgun. Backpedaling into the scrum, out across the 25. He's taken down at the 27. 5-yard gain on the run for Perfect Land. The man with the best name I probably have ever heard.
7-yard gain.
And they're actually going to give him a little bit extra than I gave him, so it's a 7-yard gain. Ball spot at the 28-yard line.
2nd and 5.
No, I was right. Why did they say 7-yard gain if it's 2nd and 5? Okay, I was correct. It's a 5-yard gain. It sets up 2nd and 5. PA guy trying to throw the broadcaster off here. A minute to go here in the third quarter. 40-0. Hoover offense back out there in the shotgun. Ball on the left hash mark. 3 wide receivers and a running back. Urias. Defense showing blitz. Has a wide receiver on the move. It's a play action. No, it's a handoff to Land. Land curtails forward for 2 yards before being taken down shy of the 30-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Sets up 3rd and 2. Under 40 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
Third and 2, Hoover.
Urias jogs back from the far sideline where he got the call from his offensive staff. 40-0, Coronado leads. Under 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Once we hit the fourth quarter, there will be a running clock. Only stoppage will be for injuries and for timeouts. In the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Snap, Urias looks left, has a man. Long throw, almost caught, but a pass interference will be called as Kenny Spence drew contact.
Intended for his receiver incomplete, but looks like
Spence almost caught it out across the 40. That would have been a 38-yard completion if he did and was down on the spot. Clock stops at 3.4 seconds on the nose. And the second pass interference of the evening is called here against the Islander defense. The official still officially discussing the spot of where it took place. And here come the paces to set up the new spot. Out across the 45 is where they're going to put it. So a 15-yard penalty from the spot gives the Hoover offense the football at 1st and 10 on their own 45.
45-yard line, 1st and 10.
3 wide receivers set out of the shotgun. Urias, perfect land to his left. Defense jumps off sides. And that's what the flag is called. 1st and 5 from the 50 now for the Cardinals. The Islanders feeling a little jittery still. You'd think that late into this game you'd settle down a little bit, but when you're collapsing the pocket the way this front seven has been for Coronado, you want to blitz. You're excited to blitz every single time, try to get that sack. So I understand why it happened. Nonetheless, defense backs up. Ball spotted at the 50-yard line, 2.5 seconds to go here, third quarter, 40-0. Coronado leads. 3 wide receivers, ball in the middle, smack in the middle of the field in the big blue wave. Painted into the dirt. Urias. And this time, I believe we'll see a false start. Indeed we do. So the offense decided to give the defense the courtesy that they just gave. After an offsides, it gets negated by a false start. And so we go back to 1st and 10 from the 45 in Cardinals territory. 40-0. Coronado up over Hoover here. 2.5 seconds to play in the third quarter. 1st and 10, awaiting the Hoover offense to take their spots out of the huddle. The defense ready to go. They switched from a 4-3 to really more of a spread now, but they are blitzing with all of their might with these 3 linebackers. Ready to go, Urias with 3 wide receivers. Ball in the middle of the field. Snap, looks left. The throw out across the 40, and it's incomplete. Intended for Kenny Spence. 2 black jerseys in coverage, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 45. When we come to the 4th and final quarter, we're going to step aside for a break back in 1 minute. The score, 40-0. Coronado over Hoover. 40-point lead means running clock. Back for the final quarter of action here at Coronado. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section football game of the day, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Back in a moment. .12 minutes on the clock, 4th and final quarter, ready to go here from Coronado. The Islanders up over the Hoover Cardinals, 40-0. Welcome back, everybody. From the top of the stands, my name is Jonathan Rifkind. It's been a pleasure to be on the call with you.
2nd and 10 for
It's been all Coronado, but Hoover, 2nd and 10 from their own 45 as the field flips. Ball in the middle of the field for Urias. He has 4 wide receivers. 1 goes in motion. It's a jet sweep, but Lucas Butler, oh no, he does not get lit up. He's able to get out of it, but now he's in a jam, running from left to right. He's trying to get out of the musical chairs, and he's finally taken down. But after all of that, a loss of 2 on the play. He was out near the 35-yard line. Would have been a loss of 10 on the initial potential tackle. Able to get out of it, runs left, runs out of room as too many Islanders crowd, runs right, gets all the way up to the 43-yard line, but a loss of 2 on the play. Sets up 3rd and 12 from the 43 back in Cardinals territory. Running clock here. Only stoppages for injuries and timeouts in the 4th quarter. Hoover trying to amend any sort of problems they've had so far. On the snap, Urias looks up the middle, has a receiver. It's caught out across the 50. And Kenny Spence down at the 49. He came down to his knees on the catch.
Urias complete. Nice catch.
Gain of 8 on the play. Sets up a 3rd and about, a 4th and 4. 4th and 4 here for the offense.
4th and 4.
Clock continuing to trickle on at 10 minutes and 30 seconds. 40-0, Islanders lead. Cardinals with the football. Out of the shotgun, Urias. 4 wide receivers, 2 to his right, 2 to his left, and a running back in the form of Perfect Land. Snap, Urias looking to his right. Has Spence, 2 defensive backs there, and it's off the fingertips, and another flag is thrown.
Urias incomplete.
Now, it's in my contract to not disagree with the officials, but I'm going to disagree with the officials on that one. Because and this is not to appease the home fans at all, just because I'm on the home stands. I just tried to uphold the integrity of the game, and that was not a pass interference.
Check that. Looks like it's going to be the Islander ball.
So, the penalty was declined. It may have been offensive pass interference. We didn't get an official call from the man in the white hat. What we do know is that it was a turnover on 4th down. All right, 1st down Islanders.
Declined the penalty, and it's
Yeah, the penalty was declined, and they got the ball back. All right, 1st and 10 from their own 49. Herber back out there. 3 wide receivers to his right, ball on the left hash. It's a snap, a handoff to Ferrer. Running left to right. Nope, that's not fair. Excuse me. That's Zane Delcourt. And now a little scrum after the play, but it's broken up fairly quickly. Alberto Urias, who also plays safety, perhaps drawing off a little bit to the Islander offense. So Delcourt able to get about 7 on the play, make it 6, set up a 2nd and 4. Under 8:20 to play here, 4th quarter, 40-0 Islanders lead in possession of the football. Herber, 3 wide receivers. It's a low snap through his legs, and he dives on it back across the 45 in his own territory, down at the 40. Ball was spotted at the 46 in opponent territory, so that's a big loss on the play.
Covers his own fumble.
A 14-yard loss on the play. It was 2nd and 5. That's up 3rd and 19 now for the Islanders offense. Wind begins to pick up. Clock continues to trickle down. 7:40 to play here in the 4th quarter. 40-0 Islanders lead. 4 wide receivers, both split out on each side of Herber. Man on the move. It's a handoff. And here goes Tatum Wade. Taken down at the 44-yard line. And she has been a workhorse. She has a touchdown tonight. And now another carry for a positive gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. Sets up 4th and long. And I believe we'll see a punt.
Fourth and 15 for the Islanders.
4th and 15 for the offense. 6:50 and counting here in the 4th. They're going to go for it. Herber under center, out of the shotgun. Hands it off, bouncing from right to left is Ferrer. Up the A-gap, taken down at the 48-yard line. Give him a gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. That'll be a turnover on downs here with 6:30 to play in the fourth quarter. 40-0 Islanders lead. Hoover back on offense. So Tatum Wade, I'm not sure if she's the only female football player in this county of San Diego, but she's the first I've seen, and she's really good, folks. I mean, focused, great legs. There's a reason that Coach Hines trusts her with the football, and she already has a touchdown here tonight. So the Cardinals offense back out there. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers, ball at the 48-yard line in Islander territory, and a false start is called. Clock continuing to trickle on here, 5:30 and counting. Fourth quarter, 40-0 the score. Remember, no stoppages on clock. And they're actually going to say it's encroachment, not false start. So the Islanders, with another flag defensively, sets up at 1st and 5 from the 43-yard line for the Hoover offense. Urias back out there, 4 wide receivers, and perfect land, his tailback to his left. Defense shows blitz, snap, 3-step drop, Urias, a deep launch to his right, incomplete. Great defense by Elias Valdivia. Pass was intended for Kenny Spence, sets up a 2nd and 5 from the 43. Clock continuing to trickle on here at 4:35 and counting in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 5 now for the Cardinals.
4 interceptions and 2 fumbles in the first half by the Cardinal offense. They've cleaned things up here in the second half, but still no points up on the board. They trailed 34-0 at halftime, have only given up 1 touchdown. That was the Tatum Wade back in the third quarter. Urias, 4 wide receivers spread out to his right. Bobbles the snap. It's a fumble. A scrum back near the 47-yard line, but they're going to say that Hoover recovered.
Islander defense.
So a loss of 5 on the play sets up 4th and 8. Check that, 4th and 9. Line to gain is the 38-yard line. Ball spotted at the 47 in Islander territory for the Hoover offense. 3:30 to play here, fourth quarter. Islanders lead 40-0. Hoover driving here, though, and we'll see how long. Perhaps they get a first down here and just try to keep the defense on the field to run this thing out. Urias, 4 wide receiver set, takes the snap, rolls right, evades traffic, looks downfield, has a man, incomplete, though, through the hands. Pass intended for Lucas Butler. 4th and 9 now. 3 minutes to play in the game. Clock continuing to run.
4th and 9 now for the Cardinal.
That wind really beginning to pick up now. We are, steps away from the beach here. As you get deeper into these weekend evenings, weather begins to become a factor. Now, this game is, for all intents and purposes, over, but it's always good to play in these kinds of conditions because it makes it that much better and easier when the conditions are perfect for events such as this. All right, out of the huddle, 2:20 to go in the game, 4th and 9. Shotgun formation. Urias takes the snap, rolls right. Looks downfield for Spence, has the catch, dives out of bounds. Was it complete? And was it enough for the first down? No, they're saying he did not get his feet down inbounds before he had possession of the football. That's a turnover on downs forced by the Islander defense. Ball at the 47, back in their own territory, and they'll retain possession here offensively. Ready to go. Hoover in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers and a running back. Takes the snap. It's a handoff. And a couple of paces forward to his left goes Zane Delcourt before being met by a pair of white jerseys. Taken down out across the 50. Down at the 48. Give him a run of 5 yards with 1 minute to play. It'll be 2nd and 5. And perhaps 1 or 2 more Islander snaps before this evening is over. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in. We apologize once again for the first quarter technical difficulties. Glad we got this thing up and running for the second quarter and beyond. I want to extend a special thank you to my friends here at Coronado and at Hoover, making sure that we were ready to go. The snap, it's a handoff to Ferrer, bounces outside to the left on the far sideline, out across to the 40-yard line. Flag comes in. That's enough for a first down as the clock continues to run under 40 seconds. No stoppage, even though there is a flag, and I believe that that will likely be the final play of the game. 40-0, Islanders up. Clock at 25 seconds. And again, big thank you to all of our friends, for Coach Hines and Coach May. Both phenomenal coaches here for their respective programs. And for our team inside the San Diego section office and San Diego Prep Insider, this is Jonathan Rifkin. It's been a fun evening of football, folks. With 18 seconds to go, the clock stopped. As they confirm the flag, we'll have 1 more snap. And we can all enjoy our Friday evenings. Well, I've enjoyed it up to this point. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't get much better than football on Friday. That's what they're saying here. At Coronado. We're balling on the beach. What could be better than that, right? I definitely sat on the right side of the stands for this game. That I know. Flag goes against the offense. Ball goes all the way back, wow, to the 27-yard line. There were like 6 personal fouls on the play. So with 18 seconds left, we will see a victory formation for the Islanders.
Looks like we had a holding penalty and unsportsmanlike conduct, which stops the clock. Enough for at least 1 more play.
Clock continues to run. Hoover under center. We'll see if they even snap it. They're lined up in victory formation. And as the clock runs out, Coronado moves to 2-1 on the season. They win 40-0. Hoover moves to 0-2 on the season. They will be hosting Mission Bay next week in a fun one. Coronado hosts Brawley. That'll be a fantastic matchup right here at 6 o'clock on Coronado. For everybody who made our broadcast possible, special thanks to both schools and the fan bases for being so courteous and great. My name is Jonathan Rifkin signing off. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be back on the San Diego section, San Diego Prep Insider airwaves next week for another full week of broadcasting. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. 40-0, Islanders win here on a beautiful Friday night from Coronado.